just going to run the ball down your throat in your house and embarrass the hell out of you. Now we got a little bit of time before September 14th when we go down to Tallahassee. And, we is, of course, the University of Memphis, since they do play their former coach Mike Norvell, DJU, and a bunch of players who don't look like Johnny Wilson, don't look like Keon Coleman, don't look like Jordan Travis. They don't look like Florida State. But I will say, man, a lot of people out there are already saying right now, the U's back. So you got one team in Tallahassee, terrible. You got another team in Gainesville that's awful. And then all of a sudden, Mario Cristobal and that Cam Ward kid looking solid as a rock. Got to give T-Money, Uncle Brasky. They were all over little Miami Hurricanes. Jacques Lecoq, remember game of the week from Jacques? He said, take the Hurricanes. It was just, I'm just telling you, man, does it not feel good to have a little bit of football back? Because we're getting a whole lot more. Thursday night, the NFL starts. We're going to give you a little NFL preview today. We're going to pick our division winners, who's going to come out of this, who's going to come out of that. That's going to be fun because I got Zach Boyd at 12 o'clock to do that. I got Hardenwood stories out the frame. Hardenwood, why do I give it to you? Because it just feels so damn good. Tell me right now who don't want good one on a Tuesday. I got some great one. Kristen Cavallari, you remember the Cougar who was married to Jay Cutler, who has now embraced Cougarism? Which, by the way, I think Cougarism, I like that. It's a new style. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm just going to be honest with you, I think I'm a big fan of Cougars.
Okay.
Like huge. Big fan.
Cougars,
No. I'm talking about real Cougars.
they looked awful over the weekend.
Not the ones in the jungle either. Like, where are Cougars actually besides, like, running the streets of Memphis all the time?
Maybe Nevada.
Do they have them out in Nevada?
Maybe.
All right. It seems like you're a National Geographic kind of guy. But Kristen Cavallari's got a 24-year-old Mark Estes. And Jay Cutler was her husband. You remember that. Jay Cutler played where? Vanderbilt. Played for the Chicago Bears. And now his Cougar ex-girlfriend is playing him, basically saying he was the worst lay she's ever had in her entire life. Did you know that? And I'm not talking about like the song To Lay Me Down. I'm talking about bumping and grinding. Because she said Mark Estes is the man, the myth, the legend. We'll talk about that during Hardenwood. We'll also talk about Ricky Pearsall. What in the... Please tell me you heard this. Thoughts and prayers have got to be with Ricky Pearsall because right now this guy goes out there, gives to his community, he's signing autographs, and he gets shot in the chest. Did you see this?
I did, yeah.
Number one pick for the San Francisco 49ers out there in San Francisco being nice to people, and a 17-year-old kid shot him.
Well, I didn't know he was 17. That's news to me.
I will tell you one thing. It kind of just ticks me off. I'm not going like, this ain't politics or anything, but like, dude, you're 17 years old. You shoot Ricky Pearsall. You know what San Francisco does? Because, San Francisco's stupid, right?
What'd they do?
They charged him as like a minor.
Huh.
You know what he's going to do? He's going to do 2 years. He's going to get out, and then he's going to go shoot somebody else. That's just, that was absolutely terrible. We're going to talk all kinds of good stuff at Hardenwood. I'm going to give you a little bit of wood today at 12:30. Going to talk a little bit of baseball. Just a little bit. Still going on. You know that, right? Still happening. But right now, man, me and Dacus, we're going to kick things off and start with college football. Overreaction, underreaction. What do you think you saw from the weekend that was great? What was absolutely insane and terrible? There wasn't much terrible other than Florida and Florida State. There was a lot of wild stuff, though. Like, did you watch some of these teams that absolutely should have smoked some people? Like, what happened to Wisconsin? There's just a lot of questions right now in college football. The one question that I don't have is Kirby Smart and Georgia Bulldogs. That first quarter was the most vanilla quarter I've ever seen. How boring was that first quarter? It's like two people who met each other, and they're like, I don't know. Do you want to dance? Do you want to eat? Do you want to slow dance? Do you want to snuggle? Like, what were they doing that first quarter? Offense, defense, everything was so vanilla, and then all of a sudden, talent succeeded, and Dabo's going to have to wake up. Did you know that the odds right now for Dabo Swinney to be the first coach fired? He's gone from beginning of the season 25-1. He dropped to 16-1 on Bet Online at AG. or no, betonline.ag. 16-1. I would have said Mike Norvell's odds should be a little bit higher right
Sure.
now.
Yeah,
I mean, I know
absolutely.
Mike went undefeated last year until that 63-3 loss to Georgia. But damn, man, you got right now. Do you know what you have in the ACC? You have one team in Dabo Swinney who is the grumpy old man who won't change. And he's going to take the program down with it. Did he get 2 natties? Yes. Trevor Lawrence, Deshaun Watson, Sammy Watkins, all them big crazy people back in that day, those teams were stacked and stuff. They were loaded. But now you don't get in the transfer portal. You don't embrace NIL. You haven't kind of figured it out like a old man get off my lawn ain't working with 19, 20, 21-year-old kids today. But Kirby Smart, he has figured it out. Mike Norvell, you would think have figured out. But he went out there and got DJU, who I'm going to tell you right now, did you ever watch Napoleon Dynamite?
No.
You don't know who Uncle Ricky is?
I'm sorry. I know I know he's like an uncle. He throws a football and.
I would take Uncle Ricky
Yeah.
at quarterback over DJU.
See, I know enough to get the reference.
I mean, damn, dude. Uncle Rico. I said Ricky. It's Uncle Rico. Just trying to make sure people are listening and paying attention so they know what the hell I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But Uncle Rico right now could complete a better pass than DJU. And then just what happened to that defense? Do you remember when I talked about Jared Versus and how they lost 15 players in the National Football League and it was going to be hard to replace them? How come I didn't take all my savings and gamble on? I mean, I did take Georgia Tech pretty big. I did take yesterday, not Georgia Tech, Boston College. Little brain freeze. 3 days of drinking does that to you. I took Boston College in the 16.5. And then I went under 41.5 in the second quarter. Do you know what the final score was, right?
I don't remember off the top of my head what the final score was.
The total ended at 41.
Wow.
Do you know how many points they scored in the fourth? Nada.
Really?
Dude, they were down on the 4-yard line and kneeled it
That's
with
right.
2 minutes left to save my life.
And the color commentator last night was like, "This is more
NFL.
disrespectful than just going out and scoring." And I was like, "All right."
Well, NFL, number one, you got to remember, Bill O'Brien, NFL guy, they don't give a damn about style points. They just want dubs. And that's the right way to do it because, again, I had the under. and it worked out for me.
Hey, he knew it.
But, man, that was scary, scary, scary stuff. I want to know what y'all are thinking at the Sissy's Log Cabin text and listener line because life's too short for ordinary jewelry. Hit me up at 901-360-8255. That's 901-360-8255. I want to know what you think about Florida State. Have you ever seen a Florida State team that just – I mean, these are some numbers. Florida State ran the ball 16 times. Did you know that?
Wow.
Do you know how many yards they had rushing?
Don't.
21.
Really?
Do you know how many Boston College had?
Ton.
They ran for a 260 down their
Yeah.
throat. Man, that was just a physical beatdown. Like, I mean, that was unbelievable. Unbelievable. Boston College, you made my Monday Night Football experience a little bit special. A lot special, actually.
Except the first quarter, we didn't have a play clock, which was really uncomfortable watching that game without a game clock.
Bothered you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, right. Didn't bother me that much. You know what did bother me, though?
What's that?
Brian Kelly's tirade after the USC LSU loss. This is the third straight year that you've started off 0-1.
Fifth.
Well, at LSU.
Oh, I see. Oh, you're talking about just Brian Kelly. I thought we were talking about just LSU. I'm sorry. Yes, you're right.
Just with
Yes,
with BK. Do you know, man? I shouldn't say that because everybody's gonna be thinking I'm talking about Brevin Knight.
Or Burger King at BK.
Oh, come on, Burger King. Nobody eats that anymore.
Your way. You rule.
A little
That's the BK
sidebar.
commercial.
The businesses out there that you think is basically laundering money for drugs.
Mattress firm.
Mattress. I've never seen anybody in any of those
Yeah.
stores. Burger King. I don't see
Really?
anybody ever in a Burger King line. Do they have? Do you remember that?
I like Burger King.
Like when do
Get
you
you a
go
nice
to,
Whopper. I haven't been in a long time, but I do like Burger King. Like, give me a nice Whopper. Oh man, Whopper with cheese. You have to specify it because a regular Whopper doesn't come with cheese.
No. Not doing the fast food thing. Again, those are the money laundering places. Plus, we laundered a little bit of money this week again because Florida really is that bad, aren't they?
Who?
Florida.
Oh, my gosh. John, they didn't even show up.
They just, I mean, Cam Ward was just tap dancing on people's head. Did you see he just like tossed for 385 yards, 3 touchdowns?
And just looked so nonchalant. While
That's what I was
doing
going to say. And you know what? It reminded me of Uncle Rico throwing the ball to
There you
Napoleon
go. Yeah.
Dynamite. It was ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Ollie Gordon, by the way, did you see that man?
Yeah, oh yeah, what a win by them.
Gets a DUI and gets forced to run the ball 41
That's right.
times. No, I'm just kidding. He did run the ball for 20. He carried it 27 times for 104 yards and 2 touchdowns. Oklahoma State, they beat the Jackrabbits.
That's right, San Diego State.
Beat them Jackrabbits. And then you had Tennessee.
South Dakota State. That's
South
San
Dakota, yeah.
Diego.
That's the
Jeez.
Jackrabbits, right?
Yeah, they are, yes.
Tennessee, though, are you in love with some Nico action?
John, I've never been one to be a Tennessee fan, but man, Nico does look good. He looks the part.
Nico, can you say it?
No, but John, my
Nico
favorite thing about you
Iama Leava.
John, last week you were so excited about college football, and you said his name like at least once or twice every
day.
And you would always you would be so excited to say his name because you know it. You finally learned his name that you would say it too fast the first time, and you would mess up every time. You would mess up, and then you would stop. You would collect yourself, you would slow down, and you would say it right the second time.
Hey, man, if George Biden, what's his name? George Biden. Joe Biden?
There you go.
If that dude who, stutters more than anybody could be president, what could I do?
I guess that's a good point.
I mean, I will say, though, never mind, I'm definitely not going politics. What was up with Oregon this week?
Oh, man, that was a game. I did not watch much
The
of that
Vandals, did you see that there was, I looked at that game, and I'm sitting there going, hold up.
Yeah.
Oregon's only up by 3 in the fourth quarter?
How about that?
I'm like, did Oregon decide that one of the smartest things to do this year would be all right, Dan, we're spending a lot of money on all of our facilities. Gambling is now legal. We are favored by 38 points.
We need to win some money back.
We'll just win, not cover, and then we can pay that $22 million that we owe in NIL to each player. I mean, to the players, especially from the past, and that's how we're going to cover it.
I like that.
That didn't make no sense. A lot this week didn't make sense. Western Carolina, when they were so tight with NC State, you look around the country. Oh, by the way, Missouri. Luther Burden is just going to be an absolute beast, is he not?
Yes, he is.
And if you don't know who Luther Burden is, I don't know.
Where have you been?
Man, where the hell you been? Do you know about football? Do you know about football? Notre Dame broke my heart.
Oh,
broke my
man,
bank.
what a game.
That was a
Holy
great
cow.
game. I have to say, that I think it was I don't think it was a very well coached game by either side.
Honestly, not really. But, man, was it entertaining to watch down the stretch.
It was entertaining if you had freaking Notre Dame homes.
I did. How
Yeah.
about that?
I will tell you,
Indeed.
though,
Touchdown Jesus.
When Notre Dame and Texas A&M was going on, I will say I didn't have a care in the world. You know
You'd
what?
already had such a great day.
I did. I was going to say,
There you go.
and if that was my one bump in the road, I can handle it. I can handle it. Ole Miss, by the way, geez, did you see what they
Wow.
did to the Fur Burgers?
So I didn't watch that game because it was the same time as the Tigers, and both were on ESPN Plus. So I just had to pick my poison. I obviously went with the Tigers, but I was keeping up with the score. And holy cow! I mean, we always talk about, whether it's me and you, me and Brett in the afternoon, that sometimes it can be hard to take away things from games against FCS opponents. You don't want to make them too little, you don't want to make them too big. But for Ole Miss to go out and do that against Furman, I thought really impressive. No matter who it was, because you see, I think we forget how easy it is to have a one play blown coverage and give up a field goal or give up a touchdown, and then late in the game you let the backups come in, you slow things down. Lane Kiffin was out there trying to prove something, and he definitely did that.
The Lane train.
The Lane train.
Jackson Dart, by the way, 418.
He looked really
Why
good.
couldn't you get 2 more yards just so I could be so accepting? He threw it for 420 yards, smoked a fat joint with a game.
Yeah.
Non-pot smoker over there.
That's me.
Not that I smoke pot
No, never.
or eat it.
No, never.
Never. Right?
Ever. Who, you, John? No.
I am, though, going to say right now, though, the disappointment that I saw from LSU against that USC, do I believe?
Now, that was a great game.
Are you okay? So, which quarterback do you think played better, Mason Moss or Garrett Nussmeier?
I'm not familiar with Mason Moss.
I meant Miller Moss.
I did think
Miller
Miller
Moss.
Moss played better. I thought Miller Moss.
Who
was
is Mason
awesome.
Moss? I know a Mason Moss.
I don't know. If,
Oh, that's a buddy from way back in the
okay,
day.
I was about to say
when I went to
I'm not
high school.
familiar with Mason Moss. I thought Miller Moss was the better quarterback, but I really like Garrett Nussmeier.
Hold
Some
on.
of the throws
Garrett
he was
Nussmeier
making
in that first
was
half,
awesome.
especially on that opening drive, he didn't even have an incompletion.
How about this? I thought USC's receivers were much better than LSU's
Best catch
receivers.
you ever seen
Oh,
in a
that's crazy.
college game, one-handed,
That's
two
crazy.
guys draped on him, and he pulls that
was
in.
insane.
That
Did you
you-
see the interception Saturday evening by the Robert Morris DB? I forgot, they're playing like Utah State or something like that.
Didn't have money on that game. Was
So
you
you
say
just-
Saturday night?
It was on social media. It was all over Twitter. He jumped up and like one hand, like almost Odell grabbed it and pulled it down for the interception. It was incredible.
Incredible.
Back to games that matter, John.
Incredible. Miller Moss looked great. Garrett Nussmeier looked great.
Yeah.
The thing that I have to say is LSU's defense made some boneheaded decisions,
Yeah. Late in the game, for
especially
sure.
late in the
Yeah.
ball game.
See, because early in the game, both defenses looked really good, and I was impressed.
Here's the thing, though. This is where I'm sorry to interrupt you
No,
because I
you're
have
good.
to say this because I'm still absolutely. This is one of those things, like when you have something in your craw and you really can't get it out.
Yeah.
This has been in my craw
Okay.
all week.
Please. Well, I mean, we had the day off
Opening
yesterday,
drive
so-
of the football game.
Okay.
LSU marches right down the damn field. Do they not?
They sure do.
They march right down the field. They get all the way down to the 3-yard line.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what happens?
What happens?
Incomplete pass, 4th down and 3.
Yep.
4th down and maybe 2.5. Do you know what Brian Kelly decides?
He decided to go for it.
He's like, I'm going to go for it.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to explain something to you. It's the very first drive of the very first game in the very first quarter of the freaking season. You don't know all that much about USC, but I'm going to tell you this. Either that 3 points that you take because you kick the damn field goal, you take the points, it won't matter because you're going to blow them out. Or flip side, you're going to need those 3 freaking points. And boy, did LSU need them because you're going to be in a dogfight, and you turned out to be in a dogfight. And again, you get it, you get 7, great. You don't get it, they get the ball, the momentum changed. And I couldn't stop thinking about that. I thought to myself, how stupid are you? Yes, 7 is always bigger than 3. But the emotion that the USC defense, the confidence they came out with after giving up. I mean, Nussmeier was, 7 for 8?
Mm-hmm.
They were running it down their throat. They were doing everything. And then all of a sudden you give USC that confidence. And what happened in the fourth quarter? Fourth quarter, LSU's driving down to score that touchdown to win the game, to work the clock, to not let Miller Moss go down the field and kick a field goal to win the game.
Yep.
Well, they didn't kick the field goal. They scored a damn touchdown. But that's all they needed was 3 because you get cutesy.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm asking Brian Kelly, like, when you're sitting at that podium when the game's over and you're banging the table and you're mad at yourself, I hope somebody from your staff took you to the back, pulled a paddle out, and beat the brakes off of you because, son, that loss is on you. You take the 3 points. You don't give any emotion to a USC team that lost 6 straight games last year, who's breaking in an entire new defense. But yet you gave them confidence. And I think you gave him the game. Now, Lincoln Riley has done some damn good things with quarterbacks, and he's got him another one in Miller Moss. And the defense does look improved. But that's a game you can't lose. You give up USC scored 14 points in the fourth quarter and
That's right.
owned you late.
Mm-hmm.
I just felt that was a terrible coached football game. And again, some of those receivers for USC, like, I know they lost Malik Neighbors last year.
Mm-hmm.
And who's the other young man that I'm forgetting that's so damn good?
Brian Thomas.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I know you lost Brian Thomas, but this is LSU. But the dudes, like, especially number 8 for USC, just looked on a different level.
Yeah, they had some dudes on their team. I thought both
Hudson
teams
Branch,
had
that
some good players.
McCray kid.
Uh-huh.
Man. But, dude, football's back.
Sure is. How about Vandy? We've almost made it through a whole first segment. Haven't talked about the doors, John. Anchored down, Diego Pavia has some juice to him. Guy from New Mexico State, wild story.
Let me just tell
how
you
he's
something. When
gotten
he
here.
went there, let me just tell you something. The fact that Diego went to freaking Vanderbilt.
How about that?
Do you know what I said?
What'd you say?
They're not going to win a game.
Wow. They started the season 1-0, John.
That guy has cost me money on so many occasions that you just have no
He
idea.
was feeling it on Saturday, though, against the Hokies. That was such a fun game. Went to overtime. I'm in a group chat with a bunch of guys, and we just basically talk college football and stuff like that. And everyone was like, who would have thought that Virginia Tech and Vanderbilt would have been the game of the 11 o'clock hour? Because, I mean, that game was tight down the stretch. Vanderbilt goes down in the fourth quarter. They end up coming back and tying the game, forcing overtime. They score first. They get the stop in Virginia Tech's turn in overtime. Such a fun game in Nashville.
We've got more college football to talk because we have David Kopp from CBSSports.com who's about to join us on the other side. I do have to remind you, though, it's Tuesday. You've been probably drinking all week. I think I just keep going. You know what I'm saying? That's why you got Buster's Liquor Store.
That's
Now
right.
there's 2 great locations. They have the original one. You know when you were in college and you went to the University of Memphis and you were over at Poplar in the Highland area, that bad boy's still there, but they opened up a second location right there at Ridgeway Trace Shopping Center. But I will say the original Gangster's still my favorite because right next door, you know what they opened? Buster's Butcher. Yeah, you heard that right. You're like, wait, I get all my Tito's at Buster's, John. Nope, now you get your meat. Not only do you get your meat, they have the finest quality meats. They have the finest quality cheeses. They have charcuterie boards. They prepare dishes in-house daily. When I go home, I like to focus on my meat. That's what I love about Buster's. Because you go out there, they hand cut. Like when you say, I want a porterhouse steak 1.5 inches thick, they cut that junk right there in front of you. When you're like, I want my chops. I want my strips, my ribeyes. It's right there. It's cut fresh. But they also are smart because they know you focusing on your meat, man. They make these unbelievable dishes. They're corn souffle, they're turnip greens. You just take them home, you throw them in the oven, 350, bing, bang, boom, 15, 20 minutes. You focus on your meat. Next thing you know, you're eating great. Learn why every cut counts at Buster's Butcher. Go to bustersbutcher.com. We're back in 2 shakes with...
John, before we do
we got
that,
breaking news. Oh,
no,
I
no,
see. What we have is technical difficulty.
We don't have technical difficulties or breaking news.
It looks like that screen's frozen.
No, it's not frozen. They're just putting in a show. It's almost done. If we wanted to peek behind the curtains. Best win in the SEC over the weekend.
Best win in the SEC.
It would have to be Ole Miss, even though it was
they beat Furburgers.
Furman.
You beat a bunch of Furburgers, and you sit there and go out there and you're like, I don't know if you're saw what I did
So
last
Texas?
night. Texas, they got Michigan, by the way, this week. You know
Yeah,
that, right?
it's going to be a fun game.
Texas-Michigan's going to be hella good.
That is going to be a good game.
I mean,
I think it's Texas.
I think it was Georgia.
Okay, Georgia's a good one. That is true. I
just thought
forgot
that
about
they
one.
just literally went out there and showed them. They just basically looked over at Dabo and Clemson, and they thought they were like little. Dude, you know, like Cinderella, she wasn't treated really good, right? Is she the one with the slipper?
Yeah, she wore the
Sisters
glass
were mean
slipper.
to
That's
her?
right. Yeah, bingo.
Would just say, you know, ain't no slipper coming in Clemson, man. They ain't gonna get the slipper, but that's how they treated it. They treated Clemson's football team and Dabo like Cinderella.
I like it.
My man David Cobb, he's next. Don't you dare touch that dial. Back in 2 Shake Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
We are real sports talk. Sports 56 WHBQ. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM and 98.5 FM, as well as around the world online at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, just say, Alexa, play Sports 56. Wherever you are, stay tuned in to real sports talk. Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Simple, smooth, and every sip is easy as the last. Tito's handmade vodka tastes just as good with tap water as it does your favorite mixers. Back in the day, Tito distilled, hand-bottled, taste-tested, sent out to a few friends, then taste-tested again to give you the finest juice around. No frills, no flavors, no fancy labels, just the good stuff, just Tito's. For recipes, videos, and more, visit Tito'sVodka.com. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume, mainly 80 proof, crafted to be savored responsibly.
Family Leisure is having the world's biggest spa setting. It's happening right now. You can save thousands on in-stock hot tubs that are ready to be delivered. Family Leisure has spas that start at just $28.99. You know those cold plunges? You can get one for yourself starting at $39.99. Or how about swim spas? They start at $17,499. Plus, Family Leisure has set up special financing just for this event. Have you fence about an above-ground pool? Get off that fence and get to Family Leisure to take advantage of huge discounts on all their in-stock above-ground pools. And if you need some patio furniture, it's all priced to move out now. It's not too late to have some summer fun, courtesy of Family Leisure. But you better hurry up. The world's biggest swap center might go on forever. Family Leisure, with and run at I-40. Family and fun come together.
They can't get that Central Barbecue location on Central back open soon enough.
It's still going to be a little while. They do things right at Central Barbecue. That's why every location is so unique.
I know, but there's a lot of different Central Barbecue locations, but I miss the OG, the Central Barbecue on Central.
You know, it's going to be completely different.
Well, not completely.
Yeah, when the Central Barbecue location on Central reopens, it'll be bigger, nicer, more streamlined.
But still on Central.
That's about the only thing. For the time being, until they tell us different, you can't go wrong with any of the Central Barbecue locations.
You know, I think we broke out a record for saying Central Barbecue the most times in a Central Barbecue commercial.
Rick's Powder Coating for a beautiful finish every time. Rick's Powder Coating specializes in automotive, ornamental, residential, and industrial coating. With 2 conveyor lines and the largest batch ovens in the Mid-South, Rick's can accommodate all of your powder coating needs. Locally owned and operated since 2002, Rick's Powder Coating will customize a beautiful finish just for you. Drop by or call to see how Rick's Powder Coating can bring color to your life. 901-367-2771 or rickspowdercoating.com.
Now back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. This hour brought to you by Buster's Butcher at 199 South Highland, where every cut is the right cut. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. Happy Tuesday. I know a lot of people think it's Monday. No. We had a 3-day weekend. We've been partying like rock stars, playing ball like all stars, and gambling like, well, some of us have been winning. Some of us have been losing. I got a new buddy who just started gambling, by the way, Dacus.
Wow.
Been trying to talk him into gambling for like 3 years.
Is he any good at it?
So you know how like when you first get into something, somehow you have beginner's luck?
Of course.
So my little man, he's not a little man, he's a super amazing human being, one of my best friends in the world. Don't want to talk about him, patronize him. But his gambling thing is, you know, he's kind of, how do I say it? He tight with his money, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I'll drink a little Tito's and I'm like, you know what, I'm a rock, I'm on fire and let's do this thing. Because, you know, I can always go sell something and get it back, right?
I guess so.
Yeah. So he's now all excited. He puts a little money in his. He's like, and by the way, the only thing that made me mad, I'm like, hey, dude, make sure if you do this, refer a friend. I don't know if you know this, but like, I'm your friend.
Always.
I didn't know how to refer a friend. Well, why don't you ask me? But dude goes out and it's his first weekend and he gets up like $700.
Wow.
He only deposited like $200. You know what I'm saying? He put a 4-game parlay and hit that damn thing. My man's winning, okay?
Okay.
And now he thinks he's the greatest gambler in the world. And I'm thinking to myself, damn, I hope you survive this. Now, my question is, I haven't heard from him today because I do know that yesterday, do you remember the game we watched last night?
Oh, yeah.
I have a feeling, I don't know for sure. I was trying to talk him into BC. And he just kept telling me how they can't lose 2 games in a row.
That's right. Well, it's tough because then you start winning. You get that big head on you. You're like, maybe I'm putting this amount of money on games. Maybe I should really be putting this amount of money on games. I mean, it's risky business.
It is risky business. Man, but you know what? Nobody has a more risky job than David Cobb. My man covers college football. He covers college basketball. He is constantly doing his thing. And by the way, if you're covering as many games as he is, it almost feels like sometimes you'd have to like rock and fire on a little action. I'm curious. One, David Cobb, I don't know if this is a great question for you on air because you're very professional. Do you like to rock and fire and gamble a little bit?
So I did actually put a little change behind my season win totals this year because I've been so good with them in the past.
You went 7-0, I think, like last year, right?
Yeah, you set me up to brag here, so I'm feeling pretty good because I've got the Boston College over 4.5. That feels good now after last night. I've got the Vandy over 3. That feels pretty good.
Oh,
that feels really good. I got Colorado under 5.5, which I feel good about after the way they looked against North Dakota State. obviously Shedeur and Travis were insane, but the rest of the team not so much. So I try to stay disciplined. This year I'm going to try to just stick with my season win totals and not just get sucked in every week to single game spreads and all that sort of thing. But season stuff. I'm in on it this year, and I'm feeling good after week 1.
I am feeling really good. By the way, we got NFL action starting up. We got like more great games coming up. But just kind of want to go back because I haven't talked to you since last Thursday, and I have watched so much football in my entire life. I think back to Charles Woodson and what he was able to do at Michigan the year that he basically stole the Heisman from Peyton Manning. I have seen some dudes be some absolute freaks on football fields. What Travis Hunter did for Colorado, playing almost every offensive possession, every defensive position. He had 3 touchdown receptions, pass deflections. He came up and made a tackle. He was brutal. I've never seen a guy like Travis Hunter.
Me neither. It was unbelievable. That was a Heisman caliber performance. Now the question is, can he do that all season long? Can he play 129 snaps, mostly at altitude, taking hits, giving hits? That's a lot to ask, even if they don't run him in practice, which Deion is clear, like, hey, I know how to manage this. And, he's not going to practice very much and stuff. Even with that, well over 1,000 plays, probably over 1,500 plays is what he's on track for over the next few months. So that's a lot to ask, man. And Colorado's going to be in a lot of close games, and they need him to be on the field. So that's my question. It's just, can he hold up? Because he's so slight, man. It's like the Ja Morant question 3 or 4 years ago when Ja was a rookie. It's like
constantly ducking and landing on the floor. Yeah, like you get a little worried.
Right. We've never seen anything like this. He's absolutely insane. This is amazing, but can he survive? I feel the same way about Travis Hunter.
I feel like that. I said this, I think, to Dacus last Thursday. I still think this would be the greatest commercial in the history of the world. I don't know why this hasn't happened. I feel like I should be working in a marketing department. But where is Duracell? Where is Energizer? And all you do is you have Travis Hunter. You show him catch a touchdown, and then he looks at the camera and says, "Do I have to do everything?" Then he breaks up a pass deflection, and he goes, "Do I have to do everything?" Then he makes a big old tackle. "Do I have to do everything?" And then all of a sudden, like the whole cheerleading team walks out, and he goes, "Yeah, I got to do everything." And he walks around shaking his little tail feather with a little Energizer bunny and a battery in the back. Man, what do you think? That's a good commercial.
That is, you found your calling, man. Johnny Radio, about to be Johnny marketing, Johnny commercial.
Johnny commercials. I like it. Now, the other thing that I have to say is, as much as I loved watching Travis Hunter, and that was impressive, I still can't believe what I saw from Florida State now 2 weeks in a row. What they did in Dublin. That Georgia Tech game was a good game. I was very impressed with the way they handled the offensive line. I didn't think Bill O'Brien and Boston College were going to come and run right down their damn throat, and that's exactly what they've done. Mike Norvell, this could be one of the most painful seasons for him in a long time.
Yeah, it's off to a rough start. Now it's like, all right, how do they get back on track? Where do you go from here? I honestly hate to be Memphis going down there because you know that, you would expect, right? You would surely think you're going to get a motivated Florida State team, unless they're just going to roll over and play dead. Maybe that's on the table.
They look like they played dead in that fourth quarter, didn't they?
Well, when you've got as many transfers as Florida State does in key positions, one, it's difficult to be firing on all cylinders early in the season. We're seeing that throughout the country right now with transfer quarterbacks. Obviously, Cam Ward at Miami looks like a little bit of an exception. But by and large, you're seeing a lot more of the DJU type of experience than you are the Cam Ward experience with transfer quarterbacks. And then Florida State also has key transfers in other positions. So not only is everybody still getting on the same page, but now you got to wonder about the level of buy-in because they're getting that NIL bag, but they've not been a part of the program for long enough to maybe have that deep emotional investment, that connection to the program, the connection to their teammates and the coaching staff. And that's sort of the thing that can get you to be motivated to go out and fix something like this. So Mike Norvell, man, he's got a lot of work on his hands just to get this thing back to respectability. Because Florida State, preseason top 10 team, 0-2. History tells us those teams do get back on track, but in this era, it's a lot different ball game when you're relying on the transfers.
transfer in DJU. Did Mike Norvell just think because again I think right now you've seen Napoleon Dynamite, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Uncle Rico could play better quarterback right now than DJU, couldn't he?
Oh, I'd take Uncle Rico in a heartbeat.
I mean, like what did he think? Did he think? I mean, because some of those throws last night, like I'm sitting there and he will and I will say though, first half of the game, a lot of drops, tight windows. Was just was a little bit off, but he got worse. Like instead of just missing his back out of the backfield, he just started airmailing people. Like what in the hell is that?
I think it's between the ears. It's indecision. Like the arm talent is there. It's very kind of reminds me of the Joe Milton experience, where the talent, the ability, the strength is there. Some of the leadership intangibles are there from his personality and the humility and all the traits that you look for in a quarterback. But then when it gets time to go out there on the field and execute, it's like the game just goes a tick too fast for DJU. And he's late on the read, and then he's rushing to make a throw into a tight window. Whereas if he had seen the throw, half a second earlier, maybe the look is there. But it's just a tick too fast for him, I think. And Boston College just made him look inept, and that's really concerning for Florida State, and it makes you wonder how long before they just say, you know what, it's not our year. DJU is not our quarterback of the future. Maybe it's time for us to start playing the next guy to sort of see what it's going to look like after DJU, and that's Brock Glenn, the kid out of Memphis or Covington who played at Lausanne, right? So
yeah, we claim him Memphis, man. Covington, please.
Sure, yeah, absolutely, yeah. So Memphis, Maine. So yeah, put the Memphis kid in there. That's what I'm saying. Wouldn't that be something, right?
That would be
Memphis
actually
goes down there to Tallahassee and play native son Brock Glenn. That'd be fascinating. But no, I don't think he's going to get there that soon. But it's trending that way. Like before long, you got to just say, you know what, it's not our year. We're not going to win the ACC because we're already 0-2 in the league. We have no chance of making the playoff as an at-large team. So what are we really playing for? So let's get to a bowl, have a respectable year for sure, but let's try to set ourselves up for the future. Like, it's crazy that we're already at that point with Florida State in the first week of September, but that's where we are. They're 0-2, and they've got no chance really of doing anything that they wanted to do.
Well, the entire ACC, and I talked about this before the season. I said that they need more batteries, that they need something. I said, the ACC is like all them lonely cat ladies. You know what I'm saying? Sitting in the house, just like, and they just ain't getting anything done. You watch Florida State get beat by Georgia Tech and now Boston College. SMU was a 27.5-point favorite and barely could beat Nevada. That was ridiculous. NC State. I couldn't believe. I'm like Western Carolina. I mean, do you know what Nico's going to do to NC State?
Oh yeah, well you could get that one at 6.5 yesterday. I bet you can't anymore.
I got it at 4.5 before the season started. The only thing I was mad they only let you put $400 on those early lines. So
right.
I'm just going to hold that and just kind of keep that there in my pocket.
Oh, the ACC is off to a terrible start, and people want to say, well, no, it's Georgia Tech beat Florida State. That just shows how deep the league is. Boston College beat Florida State. Maybe BC and Georgia Tech are playoff teams. And okay, that's ridiculous.
Dude, you watched that North Carolina-Minnesota rock fight, right?
Sure, yeah.
And by the way, poor Max Johnson, dude. Is that guy ever going to catch? I mean, it's over now, isn't it?
He'll be able to take a medical redshirt for this year and come back and play, I guess, what would be a 7th year for him. But that was tough to see him getting carted off. First game starting at UNC, but yeah, if Minnesota's kicker doesn't pull that game-winning field goal, it looks even worse for the ACC right now. And what's so bad about it is that it's your top teams that are falling apart. It's Florida State, was your only preseason top 10 team. They're 0-2. Clemson was your second top 15 team from the ACC, along with Florida State, and they got just walloped by Georgia in a non-competitive game. And then you've got another ranked team there in NC State that needed a big fourth quarter to beat Western Carolina. And so if not for Miami, the ACC would be in absolute tatters right now and in total shambles. And what it looks like to me is a one-bid league because, Miami is probably going to be that.
Yeah, Miami's going to be that team, but it's only going to be one bid league because I feel like that's what they automatically get. Somebody's going to win the ACC championship because somebody's got to. But I feel like this might be the worst Power 4 conference in a while.
It could be. It could be. Now, I mean, you've got to wait to reserve the final judgment. Of course, this week could be big for the ACC. I don't expect this to happen, right? But NC State, Tennessee, neutral field, right? Crazier things have happened.
Dude, Dude, you watched Nico, didn't you? You went to UT. Don't even act like you thinking that Tennessee's going to lose.
I don't think it. I think Tennessee's going to win that game by double digits. But I'm just saying, week 2 gives them a chance. And then week 3 does as well. It gives them a chance. I'm not saying it's going to happen. But Cal at Auburn, all right? Like, crazier things have happened. Don't expect Cal to win that game. I think they're going to lose that game by double digits. I think it's only going to get worse for the ACC. But I'm just saying there are chances for the league over the next couple of weeks because then Boston College plays Missouri. Well, all of a sudden, after seeing what BC did at Florida State last night, I at least want to see how BC looks against Missouri. I mean, Missouri, we think is good, but they crushed Murray State, so we don't really know. So BC, if BC goes to Missouri and beats a top 15 SEC team on the road, that helps the narrative a little bit. And then
helps
the other
a lot,
one,
but dude, Luther Burden and them boys look nasty.
no, I mean I agree. And then the last game I'll mention that's big for the ACC over the next couple of weeks is week 3. Ole Miss goes to Wake Forest. I mean, Ole Miss is going to be a double-digit favorite in all likelihood for that game. Ole Miss should win that game by 3 touchdowns. But it's another one of those games where it's like once we get through week 3, then I think we'll be able to say more definitively that the ACC is absolute trash. Like right now, it just looks like trash. But give it a couple more weeks, and then we can 100% confirm that it is indeed trash. But give these ACC teams a chance. Like if Wake Forest pulls a stunner, NC State beats Tennessee, Cal goes down to Auburn and wins, then okay, we got to change the narrative. But as of now, it doesn't look good.
Well, David, I feel like since I didn't get to talk to you yesterday, I'm allowed one question to you during John's segment. So I'll waste it on this. A big story of that Miami Hurricanes and Florida Gators game on Saturday, which I know y'all probably want to talk about more, was Cam McCormick scoring a touchdown in his 9th year in college at the University of Miami. Where were you 9 years ago? I was a sophomore in college when Cam McCormick started his collegiate career, which is hard to believe. 9 years, that's a long time.
Yeah, 9 years ago, that would have been the 2015 college football. So that was my first year out of college, and I was writing about rock climbing and kayaking for the Chattanooga Times Free Press. Yeah.
Was it about 13 years ago that you made my Tinder account and almost got me, almost killed me? Yeah.
So that was the summer of 2013 when I interned there. Yeah. So that was over 12 years ago. Yeah. Or 11 years ago. Yeah.
Good. Those were some good times, buddy. Good
they
times.
Were.
I would tell you one thing. I don't know how you young people have those things that you go left and right on. I really feel like I would scroll all day long if I had one of those apps.
Isn't that Tinder?
Hey, that's what they want you to do. That's how they make their money.
That's true.
Yeah, but I'm also a realistic person. I know that if you're Tindering in Memphis, the chances of catching the gash
I think you can pay more money
ridiculous.
to super like somebody. I think you get a couple of those a day.
For Tinder?
Well, I think you get a couple of them a day, and I think if you want to do it more, you can pay a little bit of a fee or something. It's something crazy.
Wait.
Okay.
You have
Brian,
No.
in the game?
I don't have Tinder. When I was in high school, not a story I should be telling on the radio. When I was in high school, I sat next to a girl in one of my classes, and she had a Tinder, and so I would take her phone. She would give me her phone, and I would swipe left or right on different guys based on multiple things. Sure, attractiveness was part of it, but hey, we scroll through
do you think
Tinder.
that anybody now that they have because they've been talking a very serious about phones in high school? Do you think how crazy that'd be if you were running around on your little Tinder and all of a sudden your Spanish teacher pops up on your Tinder and y'all both like each other?
It wouldn't be great. I mean, hey,
I mean, shouldn't you have to be 18 to have one of those?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know about you, but there's 18-year-old kids in high school.
Yeah, I don't remember how old we were, but
I think. It's been a long time since I went to high school. Back to some college football. Sorry, David, just got a little bit of a sidebar. Do really want to ask you though. Nico looked absolutely phenomenal. Is this guy? I mean, is he the perfect fit for exactly what Josh Heupel and the Vols want to do?
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. I mean, let's start off with the caveat, obviously, that it's Chattanooga, that we're basing.
Look, Chattanooga's going to be a good FBS
FCS top
FCS
10
school,
team,
top
yeah.
10. Like they're like, I
Well,
mean,
they are,
I
yeah.
watched Colorado. They should have lost to North Dakota State.
Yeah. So I mean, but still, it's a lower level competition. But you can see the amount of comfort and the precision, that Nico has. So it's interesting because you look at this quarterback matchup this week. You got veteran, fifth-year Grayson McCall from at NC State versus the redshirt freshman at Tennessee, who's only making his third career start. So you would think, oh wow, big game, ranked teams. I'm going to give the edge to the fifth-year guy who started 50-plus games and won a lot of ball games over his career. But here, the difference, though, is that Grayson McCall is acclimating to a new system at NC State. He's a transfer. He doesn't know the receivers. He's still, nailing down the scheme. Whereas Nico has been in that Tennessee program since the winter of 2022 now. I mean, he's coming up on 2 years playing for the same coach with a lot of the same receivers, and that's mostly been on the practice field. But I think you'd rather have the quarterback who's been in the same system, who has comfort in the scheme, who doesn't have as much game experience. I think you'd rather have that guy in this day and time than a guy playing his second game with a new team, in his first game with a new team against an actual opponent. So it's it's interesting. And then I think that goes overlooked when you talk about guys like Nico and you talk about Jackson Arnold, Miller Moss at USC. Guys, maybe they don't have a ton of game
I didn't even
experience.
bring this up. I got to get to this. I'm so sorry. Like Miller Moss, Garrett Nussmeier, who were you more impressed with?
I mean, I think they both did well in terms of showing the NFL like the types of throws and plays that they can make. I mean, but you got to go with the winner. Miller Moss is the winner there.
Well, the loser was
the
Brian
real
Kelly
winner, though,
because he lost that game on the opening damn drive. Here's the thing. It's the first game of the year. Miller Moss has been perfect. He's 7 for 8. They're moving the ball methodically. They have a bad third down play. It's 4th down and 3. And you take 3 points. It's the opening drive of the game because, hey, maybe you route them and the 3 points don't matter. Or, hey, have you ever thought of it? It might be a close game and you could use those damn 3 points.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. Without a doubt, but I also think you got to give credit to USC's defense. It actually looked better,
A lot better.
which I didn't necessarily expect. I thought it would be improved. I didn't think it would be worse, but I didn't know that they would go out there and playing against a really talented LSU offense in week 1, and that you would really be able to tell that they've made significant strides. But that's what I came away thinking is like, wow, that LSU offensive line is really good. Garrett Nussmeier is a top 15 quarterback in college football, and USC's defense more than held its own in that game. It made the difference in the game, and so that, like, out of all the teams in college football that I'm like reassessing after week 1, I mean USC is near the top of the list because I just didn't expect for USC's defense to look as competent as it did in game 1 under a new coordinator. But I guess DeAnton Lynn is doing his thing there because that was a really, really impressive and sort of like, oh my gosh, wow, I got to totally reevaluate what I think about USC sort of moment.
I also got to know one thing, man. Was Dan Lanning and the Oregon Ducks, they were just playing around. Like, they must have, for name, image, and likeness, said, you know what, we're a huge favorite. We're just going to win the game, but we're going to take all the points and make sure that we get to pay for our name, image, and likeness. Like, do you realize they were up by 3 in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, they would have given the ball back to Idaho if not for an offside penalty that gave them a shorter crack at a 4th down attempt. Yeah, that was, there's no excuse for that. Like, Oregon just played around with Idaho, could have lost, very realistically could have lost that game. Can you imagine?
Them losing to
Oregon?
the Vandals, the first, like, oh no, I couldn't imagine.
So, bullet dodge for the Ducks. That was, I mean, it wasn't even as simple as blaming Dylan Gabriel. It was as simple as, like, they were just asleep at the wheel. I mean, there was just a lot of facets of the way they were playing that just didn't look like they were taking it seriously. That was wild.
Florida, LSU, Texas A&M, all 3 lost. Out of the 3 teams, which team do you think can actually get off the mat?
LSU. LSU always gets off the mat under Brian Kelly. I mean, they have made a habit of starting poorly, but then they figure it out. And in the 12-team era, You have time to figure it out in the SEC. You have enough highly ranked opponents coming up to where you pick off some big time W's and you got a chance to still make the playoffs. So yeah, LSU I think will figure it out. I'm not so sure Texas A&M will, and the reason why is because Connor Wigman looked like garbage in that game. I mean, we've spent the last 3 years waiting for Connor Wigman to be the 5-star quarterback prospect that he was coming out of high school. And due to injury, due to circumstances, it's never popped. And the early returns, man, from that game against Notre Dame, not good. Not good. He didn't look good. And so that really gives me some pause on thinking that Texas A&M is going to do anything this year.
Dude, I thought Mike Elko and Texas A&M looked like trash.
Well, their defense was good, which is to be expected because they got talent on that defense, and Mike Elko's a good defensive coach. But the offense was just not there. Now that's a brutal first opponent for a first-year coach. We thought A&M might have the edge because of Elko's familiarity with Riley Leonard, and they did for the first 3 quarters. I mean, Riley Leonard couldn't get anything done, and then in the fourth quarter, he made the plays when he had to make them. And Texas A&M, man, their offense, I think it will. I mean, it will improve. I know it will, but I didn't see a player there in Connor Wegman that I could see playing in a college football playoff game. I don't think I can make that leap in my mind with what I saw from the Aggies in week 1.
DC, do me a favor. What you working on this week? I mean, it's busy, man. Where is your focus going to be? What are you dropping down the week over at CBSSports.com?
Well, actually, we down to Murfreesboro recently and hung out with Derek Mason, now the head coach at MTSU.
Dig that.
They are playing at Ole Miss this week. So Derek Mason is making his return to an SEC sideline as a head coach. And so we just kind of talked about his journey, the way things ended at Vandy, what he learned over the last couple of years, and why he's getting back into it. And Memphis fans might be interested in that as well because MTSU comes to Memphis in a few weeks as well. So, yeah, that's kind of interesting feature on the old Vanderbilt coach there who has resurfaced.
Derek Mason played for the Titans, right?
You are thinking of
the wide receiver back in the day.
Receiver.
Yeah, no. The reason I brought it up is, man, I watched the Aaron McNair story. Did you watch that?
Is it a 30 for 30?
No, it's like on Netflix, I think.
Yeah, it's one of those untold.
The untold,
yeah.
like the murder and stuff, and like it's terrible stuff. But man, I remember I went to every single game that year, and we partied. I don't know how I used to actually go without a shirt and paint myself. I think it had a lot to do with alcohol. The good old days.
Yeah, that's the Johnny Radio I know and love, man. So, just don't ever lose your youthful vigor, man. You keep me going.
I will be in Nashville, by the way, September 14th. If you're free, let me know. We'll get out and play a little bit because I'm going to the Titans game.
Okay, well, I'm up here in Springfield. Got a really nice course up this way. So, pack the sticks. Give me a call. We'll make it happen.
I got you, DC. Follow him at David W. Cobb on Twitter. Read his work at CBSSports.com. And always listen to him right here on Tuesday on Sports 56. Be blessed, homie.
All right, man. Thanks.
That's my good buddy, David Cobb. We're going to take a quick timeout, pay a few bills, come back. I got wood. Oh, I'm going to give you some good wood today. 12:30. I'm funny. We got also NFL action Thursday night. Chiefs, Ravens. It's going down for real. Who's going to win these divisions? It's time to do a little futures bet on the other side. Don't touch that. Our Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Moving is stressful, but Black Tie Moving can take the worry out of the process. Whether you're moving across town or across country, moving your home or your office, your personal moving concierge from Black Tie Moving will work with you to design a plan that perfectly fits your budget and needs. And they're available 24/7 to answer any questions you have. Give Black Tie Moving a call at 901-316-6196 or go to blacktiemoving.com/Memphis to get your personal, no-obligation quote from the moving experts at Black Tie Moving.
Is your wife asking you to stop eating junk food? Well, we have you covered at Humdingers. It's quick and it's healthy, and most important, it tastes amazing. With many choices from salmon salad to rainbow trout and grilled asparagus. Come visit us for lunch at Humdingers, 6300 Poplar Avenue. So good, Coach Penny eats with us weekly. Don't forget, Humdingers offers full-service catering for weddings, social events, or your corporate lunches. You can call 901-260-8292 to find out more.
Looking for sports in all the wrong places? Try the Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland, Town Square. Fun, friendly, exciting, and comfortable with wall-to-wall TVs for all your favorite games, 24 taps for all your favorite beers, including NA and local craft beers, and an in-front-of-the-wall full bar for all your other favorite beverages, including a full wine list. And in an upscale menu, patio seating, daily specials, and events, and you found all your sports in the one right place. The Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland Town Square, Highway 70.
Make your next grill your last with a Big Green Egg. Smoke, bake, roast, sear, and grill, all with a lifetime warranty. Save money on fuel, eating out, and replacing expensive grills that cannot match the flavor of the Big Green Egg. Ready to cook in only 10 to 15 minutes with temperatures below 200, above 700, and anywhere in between with ease. Change your at-home cooking experience for life. Go to shop.biggreenegg.com.
Getting engaged soon? Don't make her settle for one of those knockoff mass-produced rings you find at most jewelry stores. Get to Genesis Diamonds and get her that one-of-a-kind ring she really wants from a world-class designer. Hey, it's Eric Hasseltine, and Genesis Diamonds has the rings on every woman's wish list. Truly handcrafted rings made in the USA from names like Tacori, Coraggio, and dozens more. We're not even allowed to sell these amazing brands, but you can get them at Genesis. This is one amazing store owned by a former diamond wholesaler. Every diamond is straight from the cutter with rock-bottom prices, and nothing's held back. They'll show you the inside secrets of the diamond business and teach you how to buy like a dealer buys. They can also explain the differences between natural and lab-grown diamonds, so you can buy with total confidence. We're lucky to have Genesis here, so check them out. Their it's extended. You will thank me. Check them out online at genesisdiamonds.com.
Wake up. Breakfast. And Nature Made vitamins. Whatever your morning sounds like, Nature Made fits right in. Whether you're looking for vitamin C or a multivitamin to get key nutrients, we've got you covered. Now that's a good morning. We take care of you so you can take on your day. Start your day with Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand, based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
Hungry for that delicious smash burger flavor? Dyer's Cafe is the original smash burger since 1912 and still smashing burgers in Collierville's historic town square. Come out for their lunch specials Monday through Friday, 11 to 2. Ask about their world-famous split dog and authentic Chicago or New York dog. Try the leaner side of Dyer's with a grilled chicken sandwich or freshly made salad. Also serving Lakes, Delta-raised catfish, Pasquale's tamales, and a customer favorite hand-breaded onion rings. Dyer's, serving world-famous burgers, dogs, and shakes in Collierville's historic town square.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
That is one of those things. When things get too heavy, just call me helium.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. Happy Tuesday. Do you like to two-step? I do. I do a little two-stepping on Tuesday. I head over to Poplar and Highland. I say, yo, what's up, Busters? Grab me a bottle of Tito's. What's up, Busters? And then you know what I do? I go put it in the car. Then I walk next door. Sometimes I grab a little sandwich. They have the best. I know you're thinking to yourself, John, Buster's Butcher is next door to Buster's Liquor Store. No joke. Yes, I like to get steaks. They also have the finest deli sandwiches, man. You can go out there and get like, what is that, like Italian meat, prosciutto or whatever that they, man, I'm telling you, it's so good. I wish I could say it, but I'll tell you one thing. I know I eat it at Buster's Butcher. You can learn more at bustersbutcher.com. See why every single cut counts. Go there from 10 o'clock to 6 o'clock, Monday through Saturday, 12 to 6 on Sunday. And if you want the finest meat in the world, just call me. Or go to Buster's Butcher, because I always go to Buster's Butcher for a little two-stepping. Now you're saying to yourself, John, I went to Buster's yesterday, but I do need some Tito's. Well, remember, there's a second location for Buster's Liquor Store. There's the OG right there at Poplar and Highland. And they have a new one at Ridgeway Trace Shopping Center. Buster's. When you need booze, when you need meat, there's only one place to go. And that's the finest place in Memphis. Busters, and more Busters. Speaking of Busters, Zach Boyd's up in the house.
Yeah, I'm not a buster. But what's up, y'all?
What up, man? We've been watching football all week long. I've been fired up. Life has been good. The cool thing is, though, man, as much as I love me a little college football, I'm fired up about some NFL action.
Yeah.
We got the Ravens. We got the Kansas City Chiefs. Lamar Jackson's going to try to do his thing. He's going to try to exact a little revenge on Kansas City's defense from last year. Todd Monken's probably going to hand the football off this time since they only ran the ball 8 damn times in the AFC Championship game in their house.
Yeah, that was pretty egregious last year.
Man, I've done some things in my life, and I probably second-guessed a few things. Todd Monken had to be thinking to myself, we had the number 1 rushing offense in all of football, and somehow I went pass happy with a guy who throws like Uncle Rico.
You got an Uncle Rico?
Did you ever see Napoleon Dynamite? Today's like my Uncle Rico thing.
Yeah, he's made that reference like 5 times. I've never seen what's the movie?
Napoleon Dynamite.
Never seen it, but I know the reference is like the uncle. It's not his uncle.
He
it's
takes
somebody else's
pictures of
uncle.
himself throwing the football and trying to pick up chicks and stuff. On social media.
Well, I've never seen Napoleon Dynamite, but I'm aware of the movie, so that's
same.
I will say, honest to God, it's not something that you need to go watch. You know, have you ever heard of Sling Blade? French fried potatoes or something like that. Like Billy Bob Thornton, like it's a damn stupid movie. I don't know why I saw it, but I saw it. Like he cut somebody's head off at the end of the movie with the daggone machete.
Yeah, It might that might have been a little bit before my time because I was still watching cartoons and stuff. So
you know the tunes today, by the way, like cartoons aren't as good as they used to be. Man, Scooby Doo and the Mystery Machine. Do you know how much pot they used to smoke and mysteries that they used to solve? Now you kids have got like,
honestly,
Powder
John,
Puff Kids.
Honestly, John, I'll be honest. So I watched the Scooby-Doo cartoon like a couple months ago, probably like in the summer, for the first time.
Did you take
in
acid
a really
for the
long
first time?
No. But it was on Netflix. I was like, I'll watch it. And never in my life have I been more like, all these little high schoolers trying to solve mysteries. They were high off of whatever and driving around in this big van, and it all made sense, John.
It does, man.
Because as a kid, I was like, what are they doing? And now I'm like,
solving mysteries.
Also, by the way, you should go back and see some of the old school, like Tom and Jerry style things.
Love Tom and Jerry.
There is no way. I can't believe y'all do because y'all are so, like, woke and like
I'm sorry,
anti-sweet.
what?
Like your whole y'all's generation let Hooters die. Okay?
I did drive by Hooters today, and I was like, oh man.
Did we?
Yes, y'all did. It was your fault. Do you know how many women right now have beautiful breasts that don't have a job because of y'all not going and supporting and eating wings and being sweet?
I don't know if my girlfriend's gonna allow me to step into Hooters.
I don't know if you know this. You don't have to tell her.
I don't, but
you got that sweet little conscience thing.
Yeah.
Don't worry, he dies once you get a certain age. I'm just kidding. Everybody, by the way, out there needs protection. You probably need protection from me if you run into me. But you know what? You're going to need protection if you're on the road. Bob Simpson from State Farm. You know Jake from State Farm? That dude always pops up at the right time. He's perfect, right? No, but it's Bob Simpson who really does it. So if you need auto insurance, he'll buckle you with auto insurance. If you need health insurance, he's got you covered. What about your business? Is it starting, growing? Is it maturing? He can cover it no matter what's going down in your life. And remember, it doesn't matter if you rent your home or own your home. You need insurance. Bob Simpson, statefarm.org. You can go check him out or give him a call at 901-381-1233. That's 901-381-1233. Stay protected with your good neighbor, yo homie, Bob Simpson.
Side note here, Johnny, I just got a text message that said you're about to be on the naughty list here.
Somebody's listening. How about that?
I mean, they better be listening. I don't know if you know this. It's kind of a radio show.
You might be on the. You're gonna be on the naughty list, Johnny.
For what? Oh, is it your girlfriend?
Yeah.
Let me just tell you something. You should be very proud of him because I do everything wrong, so he doesn't have to. He learns from my mistakes.
Plenty of life lessons from Johnny Radio.
I'm always here. In fact, I think the only reason that y'all are both so good is because of me.
Because of you.
Here at Sports 56.
Yeah, forget home training and all that. It's the life lessons from Johnny Radio.
We're here to enrich your children and help them to make better decisions.
Speaking of rich, Ravens, Chiefs, Kansas City 3-point favorite, total 46.5. I'm kind of curious, Zach. Have you got a feeling about this game one way or the other? Because I've been looking at the Ravens all season long. They're replacing 3 new offensive linemen. I know Lamar Jackson's a bad man. Bad man. He's got 2 MVPs. He's a straight pimp. Derrick Henry, you think of a beast, but damn, there's a lot of wear and tear on that. They lose Patrick Queen, the best linebacker, in my personal opinion, in all of football. I don't think this Ravens team is going to be as good. And I look at Kansas City, and you know what? You can sit there and say, well, oh, they lose this, they lose that. Dude, Tyreek Hill went to Miami. They still won Super Bowls. They won Super Bowls with bums catching passes, like straight up. Like, they had more drops than anybody in the period in the discussion. Andy Reid, for some reason, I know his kids drinking, driving, and getting arrested. But Andy Reid might not be the best dad in the world, but might be one of the best offensive minds ever to be a coach in football, and he's got Pat Mahomes.
Yeah, I'm trying to go through their team here. That's Kansas City's team, especially on the defense side of the ball, because funny enough you mentioned that, because I'm sitting there thinking to myself, like, who's on their team that I know can step up and be solid? I mean, for one, like Kansas City's front, their defensive line is pretty solid. When you add Chris Jones, George Karlaftis, Derek Nadi, and then Mike Pennell was like huge in that Super Bowl win last year. I mean, like, you know, you can make a case that, you know, Kansas City could, you know, they didn't have much drop off, but at the same time, it's like they still lost a lot of people in their secondary, though. I mean,
L'Jarius Sneed, is he not with the Tennessee Titans?
He is
this
with
year?
the Tennessee Titans.
By the way, I knew that. I kind of said that rhetorically because L'Jarius Sneed is tripping me out. Have you heard about him? He doesn't practice.
Oh, he does it?
No, like they're like, oh, that's he's like that's the way I've always done it. He's like, I don't practice. I'm going, what?
Well,
and the Titans are like, cool,
we'll pay you.
I was shocked DC earlier talking about, and I hadn't heard this. I guess I missed this about
Travis Hunter.
About Travis Hunter just doesn't practice.
Well, he runs, he exercises, he does a lot of they keep him in a black jersey. They won't let him get hit.
Right.
He doesn't do a lot of the defensive work other than basically footwork. You know,
so like when they
go
hips. Out there and do like 11s or 7-on-7s.
They don't let that kid hit, period, during the week in the discussion.
Hit or get hit.
Or get hit. If hit him, can I tell you what's going to happen? Deion Sanders is going to come over there with Warren Sapp, and they are going to beat your brakes off.
But my question, because not many teams hit during the week, do they like have him out there? Like when they say, starting D, get out there. We're going to run 11s or something like that. Is he out there or is his backup in there and he's just kind of hanging out on the sidelines? Like what does that look like?
It looks like
if they're like
see y'all neither one of y'all been a prima donna before, have y'all?
No,
I was your receiver, John. I've been a prima donna.
No, second oldest of 5 kids. Like you realize very quickly, like you're not the center of attention.
I couldn't be a prima donna. I'd get the prima donna's water. You want water? Feeling good? A little sweaty? Here's a towel, water. Here you go. Get back out there,
what
champ.
You need? Yeah, like, exactly. You
slap him on the tush. There you go.
Just give him a quick massage.
That's
All
right.
Get out. Come on out.
You got it, man. You got it. That was my job.
It's a good job, though.
Thank you.
But I mean, it's like if they're a 2-hand touch for practice, then cool. Like, yeah, I could let Travis out there. But if they're like tackling and form tackling, I'm like, yeah, no, get him off the field. Like, I can understand from their point of view. Like, no, get him off the field. Don't even worry about that. So, but yeah, I don't know how we segued into into Travis Hunter and the Buffaloes. But,
yeah, that's on me.
And it's because football is back, and we just talked about he's absolutely sick. But one thing that's absolutely sick right now is Florida State. Now, because I know you went to the University of Memphis, know very well that you went to the University of Memphis. You love Memphis.
Mm-hmm.
Florida State now losing 2 games in a row. Does it give you hope, or does it give you a little bit of fear?
It kind of gives me kind of like pause for call because again like we've been
Boston College ran right down their throat. Is Memphis because I can't see? Did you realize that BC only threw 10 passes last night?
Yeah, I'm fully aware of that.
I'm my thought before September 14th game, I was like Seth Hennigan, 42 dropbacks, completes 36 of his passes, 385 yards, 4 touchdowns. Memphis gets a big win. Now I'm thinking to myself, damn, control the clock, run the football, play defense. DJU's terrible. He's going to make a mistake. He's going to lose himself, and by the fourth quarter, the kid the belief in his mind is that he's going to lose.
Yeah. And and at the beginning of the season, like we was talking, like we was hyping up like the Florida State game as like this could be the signature game for Memphis. Like if Memphis goes down to Tallahassee and beats them on their home turf, obviously with the caveat that Florida State was going to be undefeated by the time they faced Memphis. But if the Tigers go on the road, beat Florida State in their home building, that it could set up for this major run for them to possibly get into the college football playoff. I mean, the vision is still there. It's just now that the one team that you expect to be at the top of the top, they ain't gonna be at the top anymore. And now that kind of like dumbs down the quality of win unless Florida State somehow gets their act together and just run crazy through the ACC.
ACC's so bad, and I don't think they can run crazy with it. I mean, it's just
Miami's conference now.
I mean, I can't believe I'm saying this. Mario Cristobal, he's the dumbest coach that's ever lived, right?
I've heard.
I mean, I want you to realize something. We watched Bill O'Brien go, hey, did you know that there's a 40-second time clock and 40, 40, 40, and 40? Do you know what that is? That's 160 seconds.
Uh-huh.
Guess what? 2 minutes, only 120.
Mm.
So he kneels. Mario Cristobal last year, up a touchdown. 38 seconds left on the clock, runs the football instead of kneeling. Ball pops out, picked up by a cornerback. They go 80 yards down the damn field. Score, go for 2, win the game, and guess what? Lost a fortune.
Of course.
I could have had
I'm sorry.
Man,
I'm sorry for your bank account, sir.
Me too. I think Savannah's more sad about it than me.
So that's the only thing, because now at this point it's you're looking at it because again, like the Tigers, they still got to play Troy. They still got Troy this upcoming week. So I'm not trying to like think too far ahead for this team, but it's kind of hard not to when Florida State is pretty much they have an off week, a bye week.
Florida State
this upcoming week, and then they face Memphis in 2 weeks.
Yeah, like they have 2 weeks to prepare for Memphis. But I'm telling you right now, Seth Hennigan, and again, this was North Alabama. I know there's nothing, but 40-0. Everything looks just so smooth. The calls on the field, it looked like the defensive coordinator, the offensive coordinator, the whole fact that they're able now to talk Seth Hennigan in the helmet.
Yeah.
Some teams you could tell ran that better than others. I like the fact that they had North Alabama and now they have Troy, kind of just to kind of work those kinks out because it still is a new thing.
Yeah, like it's gonna benefit. And I think somebody said it on the broadcast yesterday with the headsets. With the headsets in the linebacker and in the quarterback's ear, it's gonna benefit the coaches, the NFL coaches that are coaching in college, because then at that point, like, okay,
BC's entire staff,
right? It's Bill O'Brien's entire NFL staff. Like I'm thinking Greg Schiano with
Rutgers.
With the Rutgers. So I'm like, yeah, like this, it's gonna work perfectly because those guys were former head coaches in the NFL, and they had to radio in on both sides of the ball at some point. So I think it's gonna be an interesting experiment with it. I think you still I'm still in favor of the play calls, like the little the little.
You love
symbols.
the sheets and the symbols and stuff on the side.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out how I can get my face on there. Just like I don't know what it means, but I just want my face to be plastered on there.
You know what's so weird? I think there's like probably 50 flatheads of me somewhere on top of ceilings around the city. Do you remember the fatheads?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure.
I remember the fathead commercials.
Got to ask you a very serious question when you look in the SEC right now. Who the hell's the best quarterback? Nico looked like a superstar.
Yeah.
Jackson Dart didn't. I mean, 5 touchdowns, 418 yards. Could have gotten to 420, been a little pot smoker, but hey, 2 more damn yards.
Yeah.
Arkansas and Bobby Petrino. I know it was a bunch of bombs, but they scored in the first 10 possessions. Oklahoma, Jackson Arnold. I look
Quinn
around.
Ewers.
Quinn, I mean, we didn't even talk. I haven't mentioned Texas once today.
Yeah.
And they have that Michigan game this week, man.
I know. That's going to be fun.
That is, that one, I'm looking forward to that one. The one thing is, though, is like when I look around, the Luther Burden at Missouri, Brady Cook, their schedule is so soft. I really think that this team could be nasty. The thing that's crazy, though, is they play Boston College on September 14th, who just ran the ball right down Florida State's throat. That is a chance for BC and the ACC to make a little bit of love. But, man, I think they roll through them. And then I keep looking at their schedule. Texas A&M did not impress me at all.
Yeah.
At all. And all the young – the thing that drove me crazy about Mike Elko and that Aggies team, you have true freshman, sophomore, 27 starts combined on their offensive line. And they didn't throw any exotic blitzes at them. I didn't feel that they were moving their line, rotating guys around. Like it seemed like they were trying to play about as vanilla as can be and win the game in the fourth quarter. Guess what, though? Riley Leonard's the one that made the plays.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing. Like that's his quarterback from last year, from when he was at Duke. So you would think that, okay, going into the scouting report, Riley's, he's really good when he's in the pocket, got time. But if you get pressure on him, he can make some mistakes. So I don't know. That was kind of weird seeing from not Florida State, but from Texas A&M. Pretty much had a game with Notre Dame. So it's like all you had to do was just make a couple right calls, and all of a sudden the game is yours. And Notre Dame is looking like a bunch of frauds. But now that you let Leonard,
just basically control you.
Yeah, now you let Leonard just beat you, and now it kind of gives a sense that, well, maybe just maybe this Notre Dame, this Fighting Irish team might be it.
Now, we've been talking tons of college football. My buddy Zach Boyd's hanging out with me. It is a beautiful 2 for Tuesday. We're going to go to Buster's Liquor Store. We're going to go to Buster's Butcher. We're going to eat T-bone steaks. We're going to drink Tito's. We're going to have a beautiful day. Only thing is, did you know there's no football on tonight?
It's not? Well, yeah, it's Tuesday.
Yeah, so you know what that means? If you're going to do anything for your girlfriend, it better be on Tuesday. Like go to
or
lunch.
Wednesday. Unless I'm missing something on Wednesday.
No, Hump Day is like made for you. It's why it's called Hump Day.
Oh, well. I didn't know that.
Yeah. And then Thursday, of course, we have Kansas City and Baltimore. So we're getting down. My thing, though, is I'm going to ask you right now, NFL season's getting ready to start. You can look around right now in the AFC, and it looks brutal. You look at the North with the black and blue that they have up there with Cincinnati. Jamar Chase is going to be fine. He's got 2 years left on his deal. He will be there. MVP, Lamar Jackson. Cleveland Browns, probably the best roster, not the 49ers. The problem is that they have a quarterback who cares more about getting massages from Instagram models than he does playing football. He wasn't healthy. He wasn't good. He hasn't been good in 3 years. Can Deshaun Watson ever put down that little cloth and focus on football enough to where he's actually a good quarterback again?
You know what funny thing? I was not thinking of Deshaun Watson. I was thinking of Jimmy Garoppolo.
That's porn star Jimmy, bro.
I was thinking of Jimmy Garoppolo.
Porn star Jimmy.
Didn't he
Did
go on
y'all
a date
know
with
this?
one?
Reckless speculation. But do you know why Jimmy G, I think, was traded out of New England?
Why? What was the speculation?
I'm recklessly speculating. But remember, Jimmy G, remember Robert Kraft's 26-year-old girlfriend got pregnant?
Mm-hmm.
And a week later, they trade Jimmy G? You think that's a coincidence?
What?
You don't know what I'm talking about?
This is news to me.
this.
I'm sorry, I wasn't listening. What happened?
Jimmy G, don't you think he knocked up Robert Kraft's girlfriend?
Oh, yeah, this is one of your favorite conspiracy theories.
This is my favorite conspiracy theory out there.
Could be. He got traded right after.
She immediately he gets moved out of his mansion and moved into another house. He's still nice and takes care of the kid and everything. But, boo, they sent Jimmy G straight over to San Francisco. When Robert Kraft, remember, a couple weeks earlier, was talking about how much he loved Jimmy G.
I thought it was more of a contract dispute.
Yeah, the contract is how in the heck did you knock up my girlfriend and play on the football team that I pay for? That's the problem.
Hey, man. People going to do what they're going to do. That's at the end of the day.
Let's just be real. If you're 88 years old, no offense, she cheating on you, bro.
I guess.
You know what I'm saying? You could be a billionaire.
She could love you. I'm not going to
love. Like so, you think Robert
to come on this station?
You believe Al Pacino and Robert De Niro, who both had a kid like in the last 8 months with some woman who's like 25 years old, you really think that they had a baby with Robert De Niro and Al Pacino, who are ugly and old, because they loved them?
Yes.
Man,
love will make you do some strange.
I know
things.
love will make you do some strange things. I can
make you
attest
do
to
some
that.
Strange things.
But I can tell you it would be impossible to love a 88-year-old Al Pacino.
I'm just saying. It shocked me.
Unless you had a big cocaine problem and like he actually and like he really is Tony Montana.
It shocked me when I found out like both of those.
Say hello to my little friends. Did you ever watch Scarface?
I haven't.
Never watched it?
Mm-mm.
Never had your face on a big old pile of blow?
No. No.
I just want you to know.
Good question, John.
This was one of the first questions I asked him when I hired him. I always ask these questions when I hire my peeps.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm like, no. Like,
Most employers ask that because they want to know if they should hire you or not. John just asks because he wants to know if you're down for a good time.
If you're okay with it.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's like you don't have to participate. He's just like you're okay. I'm like, yeah, well, if that's what you want to do. That's all right. That's as long as it's not me.
I'm letting y'all talk because I'm over here doing
Of
work.
course. But I did do my fantasy team.
Oh, how about that?
My fantasy football draft.
Yeah. I'm a little worried about mine.
This is the first of two. So let me run down my team here.
All right, give it to me.
So my quarterback is Dak Prescott. I got him.
I don't
late.
know if you know this. He loves the Cowboys. But
I do.
You know the thing about fantasy football, it only really matters during the regular season. And
Exactly.
he's a regular season superstar.
Well, hopefully we're gonna expect more. But as of right now, because I got Dak probably like in the 6th round, 6th, 7th round. So I'm like, all right, cool. Like if Dak is gonna give me like 4,000 yards plus some running here and there, like I take him. My receivers. I think you're gonna like this, John. I got Puka Nacua.
I got Puka actually too.
Nico Collins, Devontae Smith, Tank Dell, Xavier Worthy, and DeAndre Hopkins. That's my receiver core right now. I'm like, this is stacked. If I get prime DeAndre Hopkins going, like this is stacked. Running backs, I went with a lighter approach because I wanted more production than I wanted production over just the big names. So obviously my big name is Bijan. I got Bijan in the first pick.
Bijan Robinson.
And then I have David Montgomery to kind of leach off of those
I like that.
goal
I like
line
that.
touchdowns.
Chicago Bears.
Yeah, with Trey Benson and Rico Dowdle as potential RB1 if injuries happen on both of their teams. Travis Kelce and Cole Kmet are my tight ends.
You got Travis Kelce.
Yes.
And by the way, I just said, hold on, David Montgomery doesn't play for Detroit because they got Herbert and
No, he plays for Detroit.
Swift.
No, Swift plays for Chicago.
Okay, Montgomery's gone now. Okay, yeah. You know what? Let me tell you something. Edibles. You take them at 11, they kick in about 12:30.
Wow. That's pretty early.
What do you mean? I thought it was
pretty
late.
early? Oh, that's pretty. Wait, 11?
Yeah, man, because I didn't get up to about 10:30.
Oh, okay.
But I got here at 11 o'clock.
Oh.
Tell all the people what you working on. Fantasy drafts.
Fantasy
football.
drafts. I still got my second one with my family, so that's happening later on today. By the way, my girlfriend, she's been asking to join, so she's like, "Can I join your fantasy group? Like, I want to join. I'm like, all right, cool. Like, you just gonna draft your own players."
I'm just gonna tell you right now. I've lived by this rule my whole life. I don't date women that smoke my pot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't date women that eat my pot.
Okay.
In fact, don't date women that like smoke all your stash. You know what I'm saying? Somebody's got to be responsible, number one. And number two is, my fantasy is my fantasy. Stay out my damn fantasy, woman. Go get your own fantasy.
Well, this is a family thing. So it's like all my brothers, one of my brother's girlfriends, she was a part of it last year. So it was like, okay, cool. Like, yeah, you could join. It's no problem.
Are you allowed to still trash talk the way
Of course.
talk? Okay.
Of course. Like, I tried to trade for Justin Herbert last year because my quarterback was trash. And I tried to swindle a deal at the beginning of the season, but it didn't happen. So,
Well, that is Zach Boyd, and it is a 2 for Tuesday. So make sure you go get a T-bone steak or porterhouse, or I could eat chops. It's been a while since I had some good pork chops. You don't dig swine though, do you?
No.
You never drank. You never dug it. Like never just been like, oh, this ribs going crazy.
No.
Never once.
No.
I almost want. I gotta say this. Like, I can't say this on the radio. I just thought about it, but like, there's like two things I dig on. Swine's one of them. The other one is sports and gambling.
Yeah.
And we're gonna take a quick time out.
Yeah.
You know what everybody's gonna get on the other side? Hardwood, because it just feels so damn good. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11, here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Jenkins Floors and More invites you to their retail warehouse where they pass wholesale savings on to you. Jenkins Floors in Little Rock, Cleveland, Mississippi, and now open in Horn Lake at 2356 West Goodman Road. Specializing in flooring and carpeting, tile, plantation shutters, and blinds, Jenkins makes your life easy with a 2-week turnaround. Contractors, builders, or family projects, call 662-469-9350 for a free estimate. Owners Timmy and Rebecca Jenkins say hello to Sports 56 fans and look forward to your business. Getting engaged soon? Don't make her settle for one of those knockoff mass-produced rings you find at most jewelry stores. Get to Genesis Diamonds and get her that one-of-a-kind ring she really wants from a world-class designer. Hey, it's Eric Hasseltine at Genesis Diamonds has the rings on every woman's wish list. Truly handcrafted rings made in the USA from names like Tacori, Garagio, and dozens more. Not even allowed to sell these amazing brands when you can get them at Genesis. This is one amazing store owned by a former diamond wholesaler. Every diamond is straight from the cutter with rock bottom prices, and nothing's held back. They'll show you the inside secrets of the diamond business and teach you how to buy like a dealer buys. They can also explain the differences between natural and lab-grown diamonds, so you can buy with total confidence. We're lucky to have Genesis here, so check them out. Their beautiful showrooms all wearing periods extended. You won't thank me. Check them out online at genesisdiamonds.com.
I'm with John Burgos from the world-famous Rendezvous in the Alley since 1948.
Brett, we have catered parties all over this country and all over the world, from Singapore, Australia, to Central Park in New York. But many people don't realize how much we do locally. For holiday events, office parties, tailgating, birthday parties, you can't do better than the Rendezvous. For example, you can get a cheese and sausage tray for 15 to 300 people for $3.75 per person. You can even build your own nacho bar for $10.50 per person. All you need is a minimum of 15 people. In many cases, we can arrange delivery and full-service catering. We've even made it easy to get to-go items. You can just park at our front door in the alley, put on your flashes, and we'll get you going ASAP. For all your catering items and prices, go to hogsfly.com, click on menu, and drop down to catering.
Thank you, John. The Rendezvous, Mr. Charlie Burgos' Rendezvous in the Alley since 1948 and celebrating its 75th year.
Admit it. When you start thinking about tastes of Memphis, you think treats, sweets. You think Dinstall's. For 122 years now. What is that, 5 generations? When people wanted something to bring to a party that will just make everybody happy, they bring out Dinstall's. 122 years of cashew crunch, of heavenly hash, of turtlettes, of their award-winning fudge. That's worldwide. It's known that well. Then there's the milk chocolate. It all starts there. There's the double-dip peanuts. And then every fall, those famous chocolate-covered strawberries with that fondant. And they won't tell you what's in the fondant, but it makes it oh so special. And easy to get to. 5 locations. There's where they make the candies in Pleasant View. There's Germantown. There's Collierville. There's even one downtown and in my neck of the woods in Laurelwood. You know what? 122 years made in Memphis and enjoyed by the whole world. Dinstall's.
Do you know one of the best things you can do for your employees or family's health? Provide Arctic Clear bottled water. Arctic Clear bottled water is your locally owned and operated bottled water provider. Arctic Clear is 100% natural spring water with free delivery and setup, dependable service, and no long-term contracts. What an easy choice. Call Jeff Manus today at 901-382-2363 or visit arctic-clear.com. Arctic Clear bottled water. Call now 382-2363. That's 382-2363.
4.9-liter V8, 0 to 60, and I'm about to find out.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. Happy Tuesday. I hope everybody just had a wonderful 3-day weekend. I know I did. I will say though, I do feel bad for my girl, man. She hadn't been feeling great. Got me 3 pairs of shoes. Kind of styling and profiling right now. You know what I'm saying? Looking good.
Yeah, they look good. I saw your shoes earlier.
Yeah, man. Shoes, dog. Shoes. Now, I'm going to tell you one thing. There is one thing that I don't want to do, and I don't want to step in poop in my new shoes.
Or eat poop like the Florida
That's
State
exactly where I was going.
fan.
How did you know?
It was like all over my Twitter. I got tired of it. I am tired of it.
If you don't know about this story, you're about to find out about it because I'm going to tell you a little bit about why it is that there are certain fan bases that really scare me. Like, listen, I love LSU. Like, going down to Baton Rouge, Death Valley at night, one of the times that I went down there was the craziest thing that I'd ever experienced in my life. I've never drinking that much moonshine. I've never eaten alligator tail from an entire alligator that they're like barbecuing over a damn fire. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just a little bit different. But like Florida State fan bases, they said that they would eat their own poop.
Just one fan. He put it out on Twitter. Then he deleted his Twitter, deleted his Facebook.
It was on Sports Center.
Was it really?
When Scott Van Pelt and Stanford Steve are talking about a dude eating poo at midnight on ESPN, you know somebody screwed up.
Well, and then here's the thing, John, and I don't know why we're talking about it now because we need to get to Hardwood and we can talk about it. But everyone's like, he's got to do it. I don't want to see that guy eat
Let me just tell you
dog
something.
poop.
No, you don't, because I think that could kill you. Like,
I
have a
even if
very
it couldn't,
serious
I don't want to see
thought. I don't want to see it. No, I don't want to see it. I do know a lot of things that I want to see. And like one thing that I love to see, I love going to my house. You know, last year I went and had that automatic gate put up, remember?
That's right, yeah.
I'm telling you right now, my automatic gates constructions, they can tailor, they can custom fit, they will custom make all the solutions for your residential, commercial, industrial needs, including repairing, maintenance, and installation. Automatic Gates Construction specializes in designing, then they install, and then you know what they do? They somehow seamlessly blend functionality and security and aesthetic appeal all in one. Elevate your property. I'm telling you, it'll be efficient, it'll be beautiful, and it'll all be done by somebody else because you ain't going to do nothing. Go to My Automatic Gates Constructions because they going to take care of your business. I promise you right now, it's just going to change. Do you know how nice it is when I walk up, pull up, I just push a little button, my gate opens up, park my car, push a button, gate closes, and then I think to myself, yeah, step back up in here. They ain't going to do it because my Automatic Gates, man, it just looks good and very, very secure. Let's go to Hardwood.
This is Access Hardwood.
So we have Florida State fans getting their brains beat out. Do you think that this kid actually goes to school there?
I mean, he's like a grown man.
I don't know if you know this, but full-grown men sometimes go to school late in their life
That's
because
true.
they didn't do anything.
That's
Remember
a
when
good
I was at
point.
the University of Memphis back in the day for a long damn time?
Yeah, shame on me. You're absolutely right.
I had a couple like dudes who were actually older than me when I
Yeah.
was teaching them.
Yeah,
Which is, I was like, bruh.
Yeah, that's a fair point by you. I had a lot of older people in classes with me. I personally think he's out.
Do you think that they were going to school just to kind of pick up chicks?
No, probably not that late.
I mean, what do they think? They're going to get a job at like 40 years old because they finally got a degree? Like, I'm not trying to put them down or anything. They helped pay my salary at the time, but damn.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. That's a good question. I don't know.
Hey, I don't know if you know I'm 45 or 6 or 8. Let's go to school. No, not working. Now, what was the thing you were telling me?
I don't think he's still in school. I think he's out of school, maybe. That'd be my guess.
Do you know Hawk Tuohy girl?
Uh-huh.
Haley Welch is her name.
Uh-huh.
Did you know that she landed on a podcast with Jake Paul?
Wow. Shocker.
Do you think she spit on that thing?
I don't know. She was at one of somebody's fight. Maybe Logan Paul's fight.
I thought Logan Paul wrestled.
He does. But those are also called fights, John.
No, they're not. It's called wrestling.
Maybe it was, I don't remember the last Jake Paul fight. Maybe it was. I don't know. I don't remember. I know she was somewhere with one of the Paul brothers.
All I know is it says Hawk Tuohy girl's gonna spit on that thing thanks to Jake Paul, the problem child. Haley Welch has been hanging out with him, and Haley Welch has made a prediction. Are you ready for this?
Okay.
She says a 58-year-old Mike Tyson doesn't stand a chance at a 27-year-old Jake Paul.
How about that?
So after that statement, do you feel like she spit on that thing?
Who knows, John? Maybe.
I don't know about you, but I can read between the lines.
When's her shine gonna run out?
Dude, as long as she keeps spitting, she's always gonna be shining something.
Huh.
I don't know if you know this. Have you ever heard of spit shine?
Yeah.
I forgot my next story. Oh yeah, Kristen Cavallari. Do you know her? I talked about her earlier. Big
She's
fan of Cougars. I'm a Cougar fan. I like the Houston Cougars.
Yeah.
I like real Cougars.
Okay.
I just like Cougars.
Okay.
But Kristen Cavallari's taking it to a little bit another level. Like
Okay.
now she's being mean to her ex-husband. So, and I don't want you to know, I don't mean to be rude, Kristen, but you married a NFL quarterback. And then you took half. You know? Like she did. Like, do you know what Kristen Cavallari's done for a job?
Podcasts.
She married an NFL football player. That was how she did it. And she took half of his earnings. Then she goes out and have you heard what she's been doing lately?
No.
She opened up a podcast to say how bad that her ex-husband was at bed. And said that her new 24-year-old beau, his name is Mark Estes. He's a reality TV show or something. Like, you know about dudes. Have you ever heard of him?
I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
I mean, you were the
see.
one who was swiping for some girl's Tinder.
I was, and got her great matches. I don't think I know this fella.
Well, I don't think he's very important, but she is. Because she
How old is he?
He's 24 years old.
Yeah, I was about to say, he looks young.
I'm going to tell you right now, I ain't going to lie to you.
My age.
I will say this. Do you want to know something that she
I
said
look
that I
like
agree
that.
with?
What?
Where is this little... Here's how she... I've let go of all... I can't say those words. She says basically that she's let go of all of her inhibitions. That when she was young, that she was a little bit, say, more reserved. She says now that she's a full-grown woman, she doesn't worry about that. She says, I love physical. Oh, man. She says a lot of great things.
Interesting.
And then she said this. Mark is the best sex I've ever had. Jay Cutler. And Ken, this is just so mean. Jay Cutler couldn't hold his jock. Dude, he played pro football. And no other dude wants to hold another guy's jock, right? Do you feel like this is a little bit... Is this hitting below the belt?
Yeah, it feels like it.
Like, if you take a half a man's money, do you have to take his pride too?
That's a great question. He also said he wants to marry her and have a child with her.
The 24-year-old?
He's also not he's not a TV star, John. He's a TikToker.
Oh,
How about
he's
that?
just a TikToker?
Because I didn't know who he was, and so I'm now looking up who
Well, it
he
says
is.
reality star in my article.
Well, I'm sure that's just what they're classifying.
Who do you think can eat more dogs, Joey Chestnut or Kristen Cavallari?
That's a terrible question. He's a TikTok star. He also played college football.
Oh, he did?
At Montana State.
Montana. That's where they shot that show Yellowstone, right?
In Montana?
I don't know, man. Like, I think they're in Montana, Rip and Beth.
It is where they are.
Like, have you ever seen that show? I watched a couple episodes. I will tell you one thing. Beth is like the meanest woman on planet Earth.
She is.
Like the meanest woman on planet Earth.
She
But
knows
you
what
know
she
what?
wants and takes it.
I was gonna say, but it's kind of sexy.
Interesting.
I'm more into nice women. Just because I like Santa Claus comes down a chimney, gives you a
Right.
bunch of gifts. Those are the kind of things. How did Ricky Pearsall get shot in San Francisco?
Dude, what a crazy story.
Like, I still can't believe this. And how does a bullet go through your chest, come out your back, and miss all your vital organs?
Wow, yeah, praise God. That's crazy.
I mean, yes, praise God. Yes. But explain to me how that actually can happen.
Yeah, I have no idea. Where exactly did he get shot?
In the chest.
Wow. Huh.
I don't know if you
Interesting.
know this. Like, you only have, like, a chest.
Yeah,
And then you have, like,
yeah.
if you're a woman, you have two breasts.
Sure.
But if you're a dude, you have a chest.
Yeah.
Well, actually, there's a lot of dudes out there because they say, like, 70% of y'all are all fat and have man boobs.
Interesting.
That would suck.
Huh.
That would be really terrible.
Is that another one of my generation things?
Yeah, y'all screwed up everything.
Interesting.
Let Hooters die.
So what's the
All
latest
are fat
update
and
on him?
lazy.
Because I haven't checked in on old Rick.
Oh, he's
since-
already out of the hospital.
Oh, good for him.
This dude was drafted in the first round. He plays football for the 49ers, got shot in the chest, took the gun away from a 17-year-old, shot him back.
Oh, he shot him back?
Oh, yeah, he's badass.
Wow, I
This is
didn't know
Ricky
that.
Pearsall, son.
See, I just saw the notification. What was it, Saturday night, I guess?
Yes.
And everything was coming out, and I was like, holy cow.
His mom is really sweet, though.
Good.
She's out there praying for him and sending out some really nice stuff.
Good.
Dude,
Pearsall's
can I just
mom
tell you
is?
something?
Okay. I didn't.
Can I just tell you something, though, man? Like, you get shot in the chest in San Francisco. How much street cred do you get? Like, do you go to the bars and you're like, yo, man, like somebody starts talking, so I've been shot in the chest. You can't kill me.
Huh.
Is that how, like, do you get that kind of street cred?
I think so.
Man.
Certainly probably not having to do all the rookie stuff now.
How
in
much
the locker
street
room.
cred do you have?
Me?
Mhm.
Oh, plenty.
You got tons?
Don't walk around these streets and say you know me. You know what I'm saying?
I
Or
do
do
it.
it.
And then find out?
They'll have respect for you.
You know, my favorite thing is F around and find out.
Oh, of course.
I don't know why. I think about that all the time.
Uh-huh.
Have you ever seen do you follow it on X?
The page? I don't follow it, but I've seen it plenty of times.
I'm telling you, man. That's one of those. That's just one of those that are just amazing. There was something else that was weird that I wanted to mention, and I already forgot because my mind is in other places. You know where my mind's at right now?
Where's that?
Man, Frontier Western Store. Because I was thinking to myself, Deion Sanders, Travis Hunter, when you watch all these guys go out there and perform on the football field, do you know why they're the ones that play really good? They shop at Frontier Western Store. Because when you look good, you feel good. When you feel good, you perform extremely well. And if you want to look good, 5880 Goodman Road down in Olive Branch has got you. They have jeans all the way from Ariat to Wrangler and everything in between. They got your girl covered. They got a ladies boutique. They even got your kids. They got a children's department. But they have the largest boot showroom on planet Earth. Western boots, work boots, dress boots, you name it, they got it. Plus they have those shoes. You know, hey dude, hey dude, hey dude. They have them. They also have Cole Haan. They have hats. They have shirts. They have dresses. They have skirts. I'm a big fan of the skirts, by the way. Do you know that I think the most underrated article of clothing is in the history of the world?
The skirts.
The tennis skirt, though, actually, the little
I see.
ruffly one.
Yeah.
Because it's like short enough to be perfect, but it's sporty enough to play sports, and it's good looking enough to go to dinner at. Frontier Western Store. 5080 Goodman Road down in Olive Branch. If you can't make it down there, you know what you can do? You just shop online at Frontier Western Store. They ship your order out within 24 hours. Bing, bang, boom. It arrives so damn fast. On the other side, we got to make money, don't we?
Of course.
Do you remember 8-Ball MJG? No, is this Bone Thugs and Harmony? Got to make that money, man. That money, man. Which one? You don't know, do you?
I don't know, John.
Did you know it was 901 Day?
Sunday was. It was also your birthday, John. Happy birthday.
Because I am Memphis.
It was Bone Thugs and Harmony.
It was
Sure was.
Bone Thugs and Harmony. I got a nice shirt from J Ham. 901, 8-Ball MJG coming out hard.
I like that.
Coming out hard, living like a pimpster. You know what he's got a fleet of?
What's that?
B words, and they all call him Mister. We're back in 2 shakes. It's time to make money. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
In Jason's Deli, when you're dining in or picking up curbside, you can expect wholesome food and no surprises. Just delicious sandwiches, crisp salads, and great quality meals made with the freshest ingredients and no artificial trans fats. MSG
aftertoast corn syrup, or artificial colors and dyes. Around here, a lot of thought goes into what we put in our food and what we take out of it. Because you're not just taking a bite, you're getting a taste of who we are. New items are constantly being created to expand our menu for all tastes and special diets, vegan and gluten-free options available. Convenience and on-time delivery you can count on. It's just a click away at jasonsdeli.com. So whether you need to feed 5 people or 5,000, the team at Jason's Deli, they have the credentials and the commitment to keep you satisfied. Freshness is nearby at Jason's Deli, locations at Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, Poplar Highland, Germantown Road in Cordova, and Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Jason's Deli is wholesome food and no surprises.
Wake up. Breakfast. And Nature Made vitamins. Whatever your morning sounds like, Nature Made fits right in. Whether you're looking for vitamin C or a multivitamin to get key nutrients, we've got you covered. Now that's a good morning. We take care of you so you can take on your day. Start your day with Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
Our Labor Day savings start now at Lowe's. Right now, buy one, get one free on Valspar Reserve or HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams Infinity or Showcase Interior Paint via Lowe's gift card rebate. Whether you're painting one accent wall or want to freshen up a whole room, we've got you covered. Because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows home improvement. More terms and restrictions apply. See Lowe's.com/rebates for details. Valid through 9/4.
Jason's Deli, when you're dining in or picking up curbside, you can expect wholesome food and no surprises. Just delicious sandwiches, crisp salads, and quick quality meals made with the freshest ingredients and no artificial trans fats, MSG, high fructose corn syrup, or artificial colors and dyes. Around here, a lot of thought goes into what we put in our food and what we take out of it. Because you're not just taking a bite, you're getting a taste of who we are. New items are constantly being created to expand our menu for all tastes and special diets, vegan and gluten-free options available. Convenience and on-time delivery you can count on. It's just a click away at jasonsdeli.com. So whether you need to feed 5 people or 5,000, the team at Jason's Deli, they have the credentials and the commitment to keep you satisfied. Freshness is nearby at Jason's Deli, locations at Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, Poplar Highland, Germantown Road in Cordova, and Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Jason's Deli is wholesome food and no surprises.
But you gotta be willing to take the hit and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you want to be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that and that ain't you. You're better than that.
Now back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I am your buddy, Johnny Radio. Happy Tuesday, everybody. And you know the business. You know the drill. You know the game. It is time to make a little bit of money. It's the last segment of the day. A lot of people now realize that, hey, guess what? It's not one, it's afternoon, right?
Sure is.
You know, this is called day drinking, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tito's.
Afternoon drinking.
If life ever hands you lemons, you don't freak out, you don't fret, you don't even stress. You just make a lemon drop. You make sure it's with the best. That's Tito's handmade vodka. It's crafted in still United States. This is not commie vodka. Like, you know when Rocky kicked Drago's face in?
Oh, yeah.
That's when Tito Beverage decided, you know what, I'm making American vodka. I ain't doing that potato vodka because you know what? I don't want no gluten in my body. 100% corn, 6 times distilled before it's distilled in classic copper pots. That's why it has such a unique flavor, slightly sweet. It has a black pepper note. It balances everything out. Doesn't matter if you're crafting a cocktail or you're drinking it neat. Whatever you do, make sure you get your Tito's. Get your Tito's on today. Now, we got to talk a little baseball. Man. Baseball right now. Do you feel it?
Of course, John. I feel it.
You do?
I feel it.
You really do feel it.
I feel it.
I'm not feeling it as much.
Oh. Why is that? Because you're not betting on it anymore. You're saving all your money to bet on weekends for college football. And this week, the NFL.
Yes, I'm going to be betting on mostly sports that have to do with footballs. But I did find a game today that I like. You know how bad Walker Buehler is?
Yeah.
Do you remember the promise that he had?
Uh-huh.
At one point in Walker Buehler's life, I thought he could be the heir apparent to Clayton Kershaw. The dude had everything, except for he did wear his pants too tight. Like, you know why his career is now in the shambles?
Why is that?
Because all he wanted to do was wear the tightest pants and make everybody who watched him on TV uncomfortable because of his bulge. And I think that's why now he's been injured. He hasn't been able to pitch because he didn't focus on what he needed to focus on. And tonight, Walker Buehler is back on the bump. He's 1-4 this season, a 5.685 ERA. That is terrible. Now, they are playing the Angels. Angels are so bad, aren't they? You have two bums pitching, Detmers and Buehler. The total, it should be like 11, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
9.5. Take the over. The game doesn't go off until about 8:40 tonight. But we are going Dodgers, we are going Angels, and we are pulling out the big sticks. Because I'm telling you right now, they're going to score more runs than Dirk Diggler on a Saturday night. Everybody do me a favor. Get out there, make this world a better place. Y'all know I'll see y'all on the flip side. Peace.
Take your basketball skills to the